Who can take your stimulus check in March of 2021? Hi, this is consumer protection attorney Bill Clanton, and I've helped hundreds of consumers deal with debt collection harassment, inaccurate credit reporting, and other consumer-related matters. In this video, I'm going to talk about who and why they can take your stimulus check. Now, this is for the March 2021 stimulus check, which is a little bit different than the others. And this is a question that is getting asked all over the place. So I wanted to get you the straight answers. Who cannot take your stimulus check? That's a very surprising answer to this question. The IRS cannot take your stimulus check unless it's under a special circumstance that I'll get to in a few minutes. But generally speaking, the IRS can put their hands on anything they want to. They're unrestrained by any state law. They only have to follow federal law, and all the federal laws in their favor. So it's surprising that the IRS cannot take your March 2021 stimulus check. Another surprising entity that cannot get their hands on your stimulus check is the child support authorities. Now, in Texas, that's the Texas Attorney General. In other states, it may be another entity, but none of those entities can take your stimulus check to satisfy your child support obligations, which is very surprising because child support obligations are not dischargeable in bankruptcy, and they are protected in lots of other ways and in other laws. So it's very surprising to see that your stimulus check, your March 2021 stimulus check, cannot be used to satisfy child support obligations. So who can take your money? And this is, again, another surprising answer because it's different than previous stimulus checks. Private holders of debt. That means credit card companies in some cases, debt collectors, third-party debt collectors in other cases. If they have debts that they can garnish with, then they can take your stimulus money. That's unlike any other stimulus check. And we'll get to the why of that in just a second, but let's think about this. If you have a judgment out there from Midland, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Velocity, CACH, Calvary, any of these entities, they may be gearing up for garnishment right now while you're watching this video. Also, if there's a receivership in place, if they can garnish it, they should be able to do a receivership on it. And if there's a receivership in place, those receivers are getting very excited because all they have to do is send a letter and your bank account is frozen. So, if there's a judgment out there, or if you think there's a judgment out there, now's the time to take steps to protect yourself. Now, why? Why is it like this? I talked about the IRS. When the IRS can seize your money, if the IRS puts your tax obligation in the hands of a private debt collector, a third-party debt collector, that third-party debt collector can then garnish your March 2021 stimulus check to satisfy your tax obligations. So the IRS can't do it, but they can farm it out to a third party and they can do it. So be careful. Now, how did this work out? Well, when this bill is being pushed through in DC, everything's so divisive up there. It was pushed through under a budget reconciliation. So they couldn't get all the benefits and everything they wanted when they had to push it through. There's a bill currently pending that could change all of this. So we'll see what happens with that. That bill would make all these funds ungarnishable and uncollectible by private entities. So we're still waiting to hear on that. But as of right now, posting this video, private entities can take your March 2021 stimulus to satisfy obligations that they allege you owe to them. But they have to be in a position to be garnished, at least in the state of Texas. So if you don't have any judgments or haven't been sued, there's nothing out there lurking, then you're probably safe. If you have any more questions about this, or you're being harassed by debt collectors, or somebody took your stimulus check and you don't feel like they should have, give me a call. I'm in your corner. I do consumer protection work for Texans and for folks in other states, in some other states. I'm always happy to answer your questions. Give me a call. And thanks for watching.